What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so I saw Ticket TV doing a video talking about Brittney Griner earlier today, and remember several months ago when Brittney Griner was a trending topic everywhere, her incarceration or her impending long-term incarceration. You saw all these people on social media shouting her out, demanding that she be released, and coming to us, to black men, saying we need to speak up, not going to Joe Biden, who's the person that actually has the power to try to get her released. But anyway, saw all these entertainers shouting her out, people doing music videos and all that. But now that she's no longer a trending topic, for the most part, people have moved on to the next fad. But this is a real person with a real life situation going on. And I'm not an expert on Russian prisons, but I've been reading what people who are experts on Russian prisons or gulags have been saying about the penal colony that she is going to enter. And I'm telling you, this is a fucked up situation. Now look, I'm still of the opinion that when you're in a foreign country, you have to abide by these people's laws. You have to abide by these people's laws, or this is the consequence that you can potentially face. I still strongly believe that. But I have to say that, judging from what I'm reading and what she's most likely to have to go through, man, this is not going to be an easy time for her. Like I said, this isn't me. This is from reading what experts who have been in the system, people who have studied the Russian prison system have said. Now, gulags are a little bit more lenient than what they were before, but they haven't improved that much since the era of Joseph Stalin. Russian prisons make American prisons look like the Holiday Inn. Most American prisons, I guess. In hindsight, she should have taken that deal to be on the Russian basketball team. Now, I know she probably was on some, fuck y'all. I'm not gonna do prison, I'm not gonna be in prison and be on your basketball team for free. Or, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna do all this bullshit. Fuck y'all, I shouldn't be over here anyway. But in hindsight, I get that. I understand that completely. But more than likely, had she agreed to that, they probably, more than likely, would have made arrangements to make her stay a lot easier. She probably wouldn't have been required to do physical labor. And I could easily see her not even doing 9 years. Now, it still would have been, you know, a painful experience for her. But now it's really going to be bad. Because from what I'm reading, oh man, look, more or less, man, it's almost a slave labor system over there. From what I read, it's like 80 to 100 women per penal colony, and they all sleep together. And when I say sleep together, it's like they all have different cots, all in one area. So there's no privacy. There's usually like 3 toilets. So, I mean, when you have 80 women and 3 toilets, I mean, it's going to be situations, man, where some women are just going to be squatting and taking pisses, or even worse. As far as female products, they may not be plentiful. There's no hot water. From what I've read, they are limited to one bath per week. And, and the manual labor is extensive, all right? Like I said, it's basically, from what I've read, you sleep for about 8 hours, and when you're awake all but 1 hour, you're conducting manual labor. So basically, when you wake up, you're working all but 1 hour, and then you go to sleep. Ah, man, and she's black, right? Well, she gonna feel like she's black now. She's definitely gonna feel like she's black now. So there's also, look, man, let's be real. There's also the threat of violence, other things that could go on. I could definitely see her being targeted. She's an American. There's not going to be any favoritism toward her because she was a so-called celebrity. Do I feel sympathy for her? Absolutely. I think some people, man, who go overboard with it are like women haters or some shit, man. I don't feel any joy in what's happening to her. I don't feel joy in that shit. That's fucked up. But yes, at the same time, I still feel that she is still at fault, because from what I've read, this wasn't the first time that she had gotten into incidents involving having drugs brought over, but WNBA was able to intervene, and Russian authorities probably looked the other way because of who she was. But this time they didn't do that. They didn't do it. And, and also, if you're real careful when you listen to Brittney Griner during this whole situation, you could tell she was lying about having intentionally brought it over there, the vape cartridges, because at one point she said, "Oh, I didn't know I had it," right? She said, "Oh, I didn't know that I even had brought these things over here." But then she says later on, "Well, I have a note from my doctor that I'm supposed to have these, and I take these for whatever reason." So, wait a minute, I thought you said you didn't know you brought these over there. So, all these people who keep making it seem like she's this martyr and she's being held against her will, no, that's bullshit. She did violate the law. It's just that our American view of drugs is different from how they view drugs. They have different penalties. And this is why it's very important to educate yourself whenever you go to a foreign country. Educate yourself on the laws of that country. Educate yourself on the penalty of breaking those laws, so that you don't end up in the situation that Brittney Griner's in. Now, if you didn't break the law and you're in prison for some fucking dumbass reason, for instance, if the government of that country wants to make a statement by arresting you and bargaining you for some exchange or something, then you're a political prisoner. Then you're a political prisoner because you've been arrested for no reason other than some political bullshit. But other than that, man, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough on her. At this point, I do want Joe Biden to get her out of there, though, because I don't think that, to be honest with you, man, I don't think most Americans are built to do what the fuck she's getting ready to go through. We have a hard enough time as it is in American prisons. The food quality is not going to be great over there. It's just a lot of shit I was reading, man. I just think it's going to be a real fucked up situation. Not to mention the fact that with Vladimir Putin right now, there's some instability with as far as his leadership is concerned. His military is on the verge of turning on his ass. There are assassination rumors. You know, this whole nuclear shit is upsetting a lot of people in the Russian hierarchy, man. And Putin right now is in danger of being offed himself. So with this turbulence going on, do you really think that they want to hear about any type of exchange with all this instability within the Russian government? So this thing might be on the back burner for months, at least. So Brittney Griner gonna have to get used to this situation, man. And I just wish her the best, man. That's all I can say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.